I'll put 5, 1 through 5, 4, fourth period, or 5, 1 through 5, 4, seventh period. So many of these are the same. There's no need to just kind of repeat down the same problem over and over. The parabola whose graph is defined by x minus 2 equals y squared. Y squared. It says y squared, so is this thing opening up and down or right and left? Right and left. Y is squared, and it's positive, so it opens which direction? Right. This one opens to the right. It says, write the equation of a circle with the given information. So let's come up here. I think I got to go through A, B, C, D here. The center is at 2, negative 3. Since the center is at 2, negative 3, that's x minus 2 squared plus y plus 3 squared. And then it says the radius is 6. So the radius B. Section B there says a radius centered at 0, 0. How do you make the center 0, 0?
No,
X squared plus y squared. There's your center 0, 0. How do you make the radius 36, or excuse me, 49?
49?
Excuse me, the radius 7. I kind of answered it by accident there. How do you make the radius 7? Okay. I like this one. C passes through 3, negative 4. Sometimes we lose vision here of what it is that we're doing. What if it was a linear equation and it passed through 3, negative 4? What would x plus y be equal to? What would 3 plus 4 be equal to? 7. So it'd be x plus y equals 7. This says passes through the 3, 4, but centered at the origin. So now it's x squared plus y squared. Guys, just plug 3, 4 in. What's 3 squared?
9.
4 squared?
15.
Add them together.
25.
25. Now, a better question might be ask you to do that and then ask you what the radius is. You with me?
How did you get the radius?
Square root of 25.
Oh,
The radius of 7 centered at the origin, there's x squared plus y. And then the last one, center 2, negative 6, x minus 2 squared plus y plus 6 squared equals 16. I believe, if I remember right, this was a test question. It says, which graph represents x squared over 4 plus y squared over 9? The thing that you have to remember there, eyes up here. It is going to be an ellipse because it's plus, but what's important about an ellipse is you remember which one of the numbers is A. Which one is A? Bigger one. That's not true in a hyperbola. 3 minutes from now, guys, we're going to be going over a hyperbola, and when we go over a hyperbola, A will be which one? First one. So in this picture, guys, this has nothing to do with how good you are at math. This has more to do with, do you know what the information's asking? Take your pencil, your pen, your right index finger, anything, and count. I count 2 units along the x-axis. So I counted 2 units along the x-axis, and I counted 3 units along the y-axis. So when I count 3 units along the y-axis, I know this thing has a bigger y number. So x squared plus y squared. So A is 3, because that's the longer number. A is always the bigger of them. So if I have a number 3 and I have a number 2, obviously the bigger number is 3, so that's 9 squared. Oh, excuse me, not 9 squared. 3 squared, which gives me 9. 2 squared, which gives me 4, and it's equal to 1. So x squared plus y squared, x squared over 4 plus y squared over 9 equals 1. And again, the reason this is here is because here's your y-axis. That's called the major axis because it's the longer axis. This is then, if that one is the major axis, this axis is the minor axis, and that's just from counting, guys. It just counts 2 units. Okay? Same thing. The thing that concerns me about this is if I ask you to do these, guys, for some reason or another, we won't list out stuff. It doesn't say on here anywhere to list the information out for A, B, and C. But guys, I don't think you can work them without doing that. And this problem here, H is -2, K is 0, A is the square root of 4 is 2, B is the square root of 1 is 1, and C is 4 minus 1 is 3. Now it asks for the vertices, covertices, and foci. Guys, look, it tells you where it's going to be. So there's going to be your vertices. So your vertices are going to be -2 plus or minus 2. Your covertices are going to be K plus or minus B. HK plus or minus B. So the vertices are H plus or minus A. Again, because there's the bigger number. The covertices are HK plus or minus B. HK plus or minus B. Again, guys, just add the numbers together. 2 plus 1, 2 minus 1. And if you do H plus or minus A, then you also automatically do H plus or minus C. That's just the way it goes. Again, you have to understand what it is that you're working for or working with. This is an ellipse. This is a hyperbola. A hyperbola, A is always first. A is 4, B is 2. H is 0, K is 0. The important part about a hyperbola is that you know that if x squared is first, it's y equals plus or minus b over ax for my asymptotes. Y equals plus or minus a over bx if y is first. Again, how do you know what a is in a hyperbola? First. This is a. Because if that were an ellipse, this wouldn't be a. The other number would be. Okay, graph the following and state the vertex, focus, directrix, and axis of symmetry. Same concept here. Y is squared. Do you remember how that worked? If y is squared, then x is going to be the thing that's changing. P is 4. Remember, it's 1 over 4p equals 1 over 12. Solve the equation 1 over 4p equals 1 over 12. You cross multiply, p is 4. The question says find the vertex, HK, focus, H plus P. Again, look, Y is squared. If Y is squared, then H plus P, that's going to be your focus. And then your directrix will be X equals H minus P. Number 8, 4, -1, radius of 25. Down to number 9. Guys, the big thing about this section right here is that you gotta at least come up with some kind of strategy for solving these. There's no way I can put this on the paper here, but you can get the idea from. Look, write the equation of vertices. Vertices are -3, 0, and 3, 0. Where does it ask you to list H, K, A, B, and C? Nowhere. But guys, that's what it is that you're looking for. So write out H, K, A, B, and C. Now, just like logically looking at 3, 0 and -3, 0, if that's your vertex, guys, this can't be true. There's a mistake here. Look, this is incorrect. Vertices 3, 0. So that means A is 3. Covertices 5. B is 5. Can't happen. Because that's a mistake. This has to be the covertices. This has to be the vertices. Because it's how it is. This stuff, every once in a while, mistakes made. There's one where it is. Okay, so when it comes over here and it says the co-vertices are plus or minus 3, 0, so that's plus or minus 3, 0 for my co-vertices. My vertices then become 0 plus or minus 5. Well, the co-vertices would then be H plus or minus B. B goes with a co-vertice. B goes with a co-vertice. A, H, K plus or minus A. Well, based on the logic now, I can kind of deduce some things. I can figure out from this being 0 and this being 0 that H is 0 and K is 0. Well, if I ended up with 5 and negative 5, A must be 5 and B must be 3. So now I would have x minus 0 squared over 25 plus y minus 0 squared over 9, and it would be equal to 1. What number is this? Number 9 right here. So this would be x squared over 25 plus y squared over 9 equals 1. Again, guys, if you read the problem that it is, it has to be a mistake. You may not realize that yet, but that's what I'm trying to get you to see. Write an equation for the parabola focus vertex. When you write the equation of the parabola, look, 10, write the equation of the parabola. 3, negative 3, 3, 1. Which number has changed? Has the x values changed or the y values changed? 3, look, 3, negative 3, 3, 1. The y's have changed. Look up here. Eyes. Look, you look right there. I see those x's have stayed the same. So the y's are changing. Since the y's are changing, somebody, x is squared. Since the y values are changing, x is squared. So you come over here and you go y minus k equals 1 over 4p x minus h squared. Guys, that's how it works. If the y values change, the x is squared. As the x values change, the y. So it's just a matter of figuring this stuff out now. The focus is at 3, negative 3. The vertex is at 3, 1. So h is 3. K is 1. The vertex is HK. So just plug a 3 there, plug a 1 there. So only thing left to do is figure out what P is. Well, if this value right here, if negative 3 is equal to H plus P, why is that? It always is, guys. K plus P. So K plus P is equal to negative 3. Well, you know K is 1, so negative 3 equals 1 plus P. Anybody? Nobody in here knows how to solve the problem, Nick. Thank you. Negative 4. My last period class stuck here for like 2 minutes because we couldn't figure out why the answer wasn't negative 2. Guys, negative 3 minus 1 is negative 4. That's what the value is. So you did whatever it was you had to do to get H, K, and P, and so now it's just a matter of plugging them in over here. So y minus 1 equals negative 1/16 x minus 3. And then it's squared. The reason it's squared, again, guys, the reason you know x minus 3 is squared is because the y values are changing. Skip down. Look at this section here. As your right index finger is the best thing to help you count this. As you have a parabola The things you need in a parabola are h, k, and p. Guys, just count. If I were in the 9th grade, if I were in a younger class, this would be a single point sitting right there, and it would say, tell me the coordinates of that point, -4, 2. Guess what? It's the same question. Just 4 years later, 3 years later, they put a parabola around it, but you're still trying to find the points of the vertex. Take your right index finger, count up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. P is 7. If you count up, it's positive. If you count down, it's negative. If you count right, it's positive. If you count left, it's negative. Guys, just use your finger and figure out the coordinates of these points. That center right there is at 3, 7. That radius, 1, 2, 3, 4. The radius is 4. It asks you to write the standard equation, so x minus 3 squared plus y minus k squared equals 16. So plug in 7. Again, guys, those of you that are looking at this and you don't get where if you don't know that this is a parabola that opens to the left, so it's x minus h equals 1 over 4p y minus k. That's the first order of business that you got to get. You got to be able to do that first. You got to be able to attach it to a standard form. But Coach, I don't know how to do that. That's what the Google document was about, guys. That's why you typed up the characteristics every once in a while. Now it's just a matter of picking out the coordinates of that point. So 4, what does that look like? -3. So h is 4, k is -3. This is left. This is counting to the left. If you go from the vertex to the left, it's a negative. So p is -2. Fill the numbers in. X minus 4, -1/8, y plus 3 squared. I don't really know how to find h, k, and p for this one unless you sketch it. You know your axis of symmetry right there. But here in this one, in this picture, again, this one opens up and down, so I know why. Coach Hill, how do you know that? Open up and down. If it's around the y-axis, y squared is first. It opens around the x-axis, x squared is first. So x squared, that's a squared minus x squared over b squared equals 1. Coach Hill, why is a squared? Again, guys, in a hyperbola, a squared is first. So it's just a matter of counting here. H is 0, k is 0, a is first, so I just count. 1, 2, 3. A is 3, count. 1, 2. B is 2. Because what you're going to end up with is that little square. Little square right there. So, because there comes that asymptote, here comes this asymptote. So when you count up 3 and over 2, up 3 and over 2. If y is first, it's a over bx. If x is first, it's b over ax. So y squared over 9 minus x squared over 4 equals 1. Man, I still can't come up with a logical way to know what P is here. There's H and K. Look, there's H and K. Is there any markings or anything that you see that I'm not visualizing?
There's like a -4. I think it's going up like 2.
They're definitely going up by 2, so your would be -2, 0.
Yeah,
But what I don't understand is where can I find the value of my p value?
Well, was supposed to measure it.
Yeah, I don't know.
There was a dot on that one, right? That was a real one.
Yeah. I'm not real sure. I guess what they're trying to get us to see is make sure we don't get by the scale or something. Then same thing here in this one. Your center is at -1, -1. Like I said here, guys, I don't know how to find the p value. I just know it's going to be negative. H is -2, K is 0, P is negative something. 1, 2, 3. R is 3. X minus 1 squared plus Y plus 1 squared equals 9.
But how do we write the problem for the A?
For which one?
A, like the very first one.
Same concept. Look, that opens up. So you got to know since it opens up, it's Y minus 2 equals 1 over 28 X plus 4.
And all this stuff like up in the second.
It will be eventually. These last 4 right here. Again, guys, the thing that has got us with these, we don't sometimes go through the steps. This is a circle. Guys, this is a circle. If you're going to write it in standard form, you have to go x squared minus 10x. You have to move the 25 to the other side. Half of 10 squared is 25, so that gives you 25. So y squared plus 6y, half of 6 is 3 squared is 9, so that's plus 9. All that cancels out, and my standard form is x minus 5 squared, I get from factoring this. Y plus 3 squared, I get from factoring the second thing, equals 9. Okay, that's for that first one. The second one, here's again, y is squared. Since y is squared, I need to keep the y's together and move the x's to the other side. So if it's a positive 8x on this side, it's a negative 8x on the other side. Negative 15 on this side, a positive 15 on the other side. Complete the square, that's plus 1, so y minus 1 squared equals negative 8x plus 16. Well, the deal with negative 8x plus 16 is I need a 1 over 4p out in front. So that's y minus 1 squared equals negative 8 times x minus 2. On this side with the squared, it's 1 over 4p. Just hold on to it. On this side with the 1, oh no, go ahead. Come here. I just realized where you were from.
Why is that negative? Or is it x minus?
A negative divided by a negative is a positive. Negative divided by a negative is a positive. So 8 times 8 is 16. So this is 4p equals negative 8. If 4p equals negative 8, p is negative 2. On this side, on the side that things aren't squared on, it's 4p. On the side things are squared on, it's 1 over 4p. Again here, the number 5 is a circle. I think it would be more beneficial. Coach Hill, how do you do I'll show you those, but you'll have to watch the other video, guys. The way to do this one is you group your x's, group your y's, 36y squared, minus 144y. Move the number to the other side. So I got 99. So I take out a 9, that gives me x squared plus 6x. Half of 6 is 3 squared is 9, so I put a 9 right there. So now I got 99 and 81 on the other side. So 36, half of 30, or not half of 36, 36 goes into 144 4 times. Half of 4 is 2 squared is 4, so 36. So now could somebody add 144 81, and 99 for me? 144, 81, plus 99. Add those all for me. What? So x times x plus 3 squared plus 36 over y plus 2 squared is equal to 324. And then 9 must go into both of those. How many times does 9 go into 324? So that gives me 36. So x plus 3 squared over 36. How many times 36 go into it? Must be 9. Y plus 2 squared. Is that what it is? Now, again, realize that stuff, as you work through it, when I got 324, as intimidating as a number as 324 is, I knew 36 and 9 were going to go into it. Yep. Y equals 3x. What is y squared? If y equals 3x, what is y squared? Come on. No, squared. So I'll put 3x right there. So x squared plus 3x squared equals 100. 9, 10, x squared equals 100. X squared equals 10. X is plus or minus square root of 10. So if x is the square root of 10, y is 3 times the square root of 10. So I got square root of 10 and plug a y right there, 3 on the square root of 10. And if I have a negative square root of 10, negative 3 on the square root of 10. If you looked at that graph, guys, if you looked at that graph, as terrible of an answer as that looks at, how do you make a circle? How would I graph a circle with a radius of 10? I would say x squared plus y squared equals 100. Well, the problem is, guys, is that's not how our calculators graph circles. I would have to put 100 minus x squared. If I did 100 minus x squared, put it into the calculator. Watch this, please. Eyes up here. Boom. Here goes a circle. Its radius is 10. I can't really see it real good. Do you see where it's? Do you see the circle at all? Barely out here. Okay, because that's 10 units. Coach Hill, that doesn't look like a circle to me. Well, that video hasn't been formatted to fit your screen. If I zoom this window up to square, you'll see that I might not pick up a circle here, but I see it out wider better. Okay, so that's going to be my circle. Put a square root around it. It'll look more like a circle. And so, sorry about that. You'll see it curve in here. Now this question says y equals 3x. So if I also graph y equals 3x, anybody? How many times is this line going to cross? How many times is this line in this circle going to cross? Come on. Circle, linear equation. Cross. Twice. Right there. They cross twice. Give me a close guesstimation of where the square root of 10 is. You know exactly? I don't know exactly, but I bet it's about 3.1. What's 3 times 3? So look. 1, 2, 3, and go up. Look where it intersects it at. Right here at 3 times almost 3. What's 3 times a little more than 3? Just a little bit more than 9. Look, just a little bit more than 9. It works, guys. This stuff mathematically works. It's not just me up here kind of justify how to use this buttons on the calculator. Last one. You need to buzz through this one with me too. Guys, I'm not going to ask you a bunch of probability questions. We're just didn't get to them. But I am going to ask you a couple of things about, look up here please, a couple of things, you better watch this. A couple of things about the probability. There's two problems back here on binomial expansion. I want to make sure you can do those because that is something that they'll expect that you can do and not go back and review. Okay, problem number 17 here says calculate the probability of random guessing the given numbers on the correct answers on the 25 multiple choice question. So I write 25C, anybody, or 25C 12. Anybody understand where I got the number 25 from?
Yeah.
25 question 1.
Right. Where did I get the 12 from?
From A.
From how many you're going to get right. So this is the percent of right questions. The percent of right questions, which is 12. The percent of wrong questions,
Which is
there's going to be 13 of them. So the numbers that you're going to calculate is 25C12, 0.25. Where in the heck did I get 0.25 from? So 0.75, where did I get that from?
percent.
Again, percent wrong. Why is it 20.25?
What's half point?
How many answers are there?
4.
4. So straight up guessing yields 25% chance. So 25% chance times the number that you're getting right, 75% chance is the percent getting wrong, and 13. So here's how this thing goes. It goes NCR, okay, the percent right to the R times the percentage for wrong answers and minus R. Slide down, there's another binomial experiment question. This one here says you perform a binomial experiment that consists of 20 trials with a probability of 27% success rate. So it says, what's the probability of getting 7 or 8? How are you going to mathematically solve that? Because it says the word or. What are you going to do with your two answers? Add them. That's right. See, it says 7 or 8. So you'll take the probability of 7 and add it to the probability of 8. 20, where did I get 20 from? 20 trials. 7, where did I get 7 from? 7 right. 0.27, where did I get 0.27 from? Success. 0.27, how many successes? 7. 0.27 to the 7th. 0.73, if 0.27 is success, 0.73 is failures. It's binomial, there's two things that can happen. 13. Punch buttons, hit enter. Just punch buttons on your calculator right here for 20C7. 0.27 to the 7, 0.7 to save it. Then turn around and do the same thing for 8. 28. 0.27 to the 8. 0.73 to the 12th.